Welcome to Kaiserpunk, which may be the first true grand city building game. What do I mean by this? It is a city builder. You're gonna be able, to manage your population, your production chains on a big scale, but more importantly, you're also going to have a global map on which you're going to want to fight, right? So it is warfare on a global scale where you forge not only a city, but you forge an empire. Again, grand city building. The game just released on March 21st, so as always you can expect a full let's play, but also some guides, tutorials and a review on if I think this game is worth it. Today we're going to start with the tutorial. I've been playing the game a bit and I think those tutorials are pretty great, so I wanted to show them to you while also showing you what I've learned about the game. Chapter 1. Daring to hope, daring to dream. With the war raging on pointlessly, the governor and his men took their fate into their own hand. Exhausted and desperate, they sought refuge in the nearby town. Their dreams and hope were simple: a healthy meal and a roof over their heads, with no one pointing a gun at them. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it may seem simple for many of us, but it is not the reality, especially at that time, thinking World War I, World War II, that was definitely not a simple dream and hope for many people, and even today. So let's keep that in mind. But let's dive right in.
A battalion of battle-weary soldiers, having deserted the relentless conflict, returned to their once familiar land, only to discover a haunting sight, a desolate wasteland of ruins. Amidst the crumbling remains of a nation, they encounter the lingering echoes of war, grappling with the ghosts of their past and the harsh realities of a world forever changed. Undeterred, they rally together, fueled by a resilient spirit to rebuild not just their lives, but also their shattered nation.
Commander, this ruined village is teeming, okay, with bandits. Before we even think about returning to civilian life, we need to clear them out. Our men are battle-hardened veterans. This should not pose a challenge to them. Give the word and we march in. Archer Mitchell. Okay, Mitchell, let's go. Oh, dead. Dead. Boom. Recognize some of those uniforms. Grenadier unit, or what's left of it. Yesterday's friend became today's enemies. I guess war has taken a toll on everyone's mind. Be on your guard, Commander. We do not know if they have seen the last of them. After clearing the corpse, we must fix this rundown village. We organize our men to salvage what they can, so basically destroy it all. With some luck, we must find something useful. So yeah, everything seems pretty destroyed, so they're gonna take all of the resources, right? So at least we have some resources to get started. That's the point. Yeah, don't hesitate, of course, to tell me in the comments below your thoughts, question, or request about this game. But yeah, I'm planning to definitely do a few episodes on this one. I think this has a lot of potential. Even if, it's still not fully finished. I think, they're probably going to continue improving some of the balance and things like this. But yeah, here it is. We got a lot of resources, as you can see, from destroying everything. But we still have, a central building over here. Okay. So they preserve what material they could for future building projects. It's a shame that so much has been brought to ruin by the war. Okay. Rocky start, but it's a start. Or should I say governor? Are we a commander or governor? I like commander, to be honest. Welcome to the world of Kaiserpunk. Before we embark on this arduous journey of reclaiming and rebuilding the world, we are going to review the basics. For starter, we need to check this surrounding area. So we can see over here the tutorial, right? We have notification log also on this side here, right? Including my mission. And yeah, this is basically what we're supposed to do. So WASD, Q and R to rotate. You can use your mouse too. Right? So pretty good. I think you can find it all. Now, our men are without shelter. That's not good. At this point, they are basically homeless. I suggest we build some basic shelters. Sure thing, boss. So with this, we can see at the bottom, we have, all of the different types of constructions, right? Housing, utilities, transport, cultivation, etc., etc. So there's definitely, going to be quite a lot of buildings. We can see also the mini-map there, by the way, right? And if you click, good thing is you move immediately, right, to wherever you want. We have at the top simple UI, they've been refining it. We have, for example, our number of population over here. We'll talk about this. Money, do we have electricity, water, etc. But yeah, as I said, we'll talk about this in the future. I think here we need to start building some houses. So let's go over here. We have only the basic one, the laborers. There is 4 types, 4 tiers of population, if you wish, right? From laborers to specialists. And this is a laborer's house. We have, as you can see, an entrance here to this building, an entrance to that one too. And by the way, a really cool thing is you can also toggle the planning mode. So if you want your basically planning, you're not actually building, you're just placing something. It's blueprint in Nano if you wish, right? So that is good. Now our men cannot properly head to work because they have a roof over their head. Our building needs a connection to the headquarters, which is this building over here, right? We're gonna build a couple of roads. Again, we have dirt roads. In the future, we'll have gravel, asphalt, right? And we have a couple of other things. But now, for now, let's focus on a simple road like this, you know, straight, done. Now that it's done, advise that you use road every time you build something. Without roads, buildings and transport cannot work properly. Similar to Anno again here. Governor, our men have located ruins near our position. If the report is true, it seems that they are in repairable condition. So instead of destroying, we can properly repair them. Okay, so let's find them, right? We have 2 ruins. Okay, let me see what else they talk about here. Demolish, move, and copy. Yes, so all of these buildings over here, we have everything you need. In particular, I think it's great that we have copy, right? Copy house easily like this. We need to find, you know, something, and they actually show us, you know, they show us that it's all the way over here, what we're supposed to do. I know basically they're talking about this, and we can see that to repair, it will take 10 laborers and 10 hours. So let's get cracking, as they say. When it's done, we'll be able, you know, to start moving them back into our city. While this is happening, I'm thinking we're going to continue building a bit more. Let's build 2 more houses, 2 more, some roads. Now I have roads around this. It does cost, by the way, money to do all of this, but okay, it's fine. So yeah, this is like, you know, start of a city, right? Classic one, but still important. And now they've been built, right? So again, we can go back quickly there, and we're gonna be able to move them. So I know some people don't like that. And I agree that, you know, maybe it should be a difficulty level. Are you able to move or not? But I do think it's good to actually have it as a basis. Okay, so scars of war might be present, but our workers at least have some more houses with those 2 repaired. For next, they're gonna want some food, right? So I advise rudimentary production of vegetables. I guess we can start there indeed. You can see here the forester, the farm, and the grain field. Not too sure why the farm is not really the grain field. But it's fine. It's 2 different basic production. This one is vegetable, this one is grain. So they told us to start, all right, with a farm for vegetables. I'm not going to put it right next to the city. I think we're going to put it a bit further. I'm just looking. Here we have, you know, different types of resources. And there's actually resources a bit everywhere. Okay, maybe we put it over here for now. We can always move it in the future. Let's do like this. Yes. There it is. We're gonna need a road, right? Let's go as far as possible and done. Now to be able though to you know, work, we're gonna need a depot. Because the depot, this is where the resources are gonna want to go. It's like a warehouse in Anno, right? They should be not too far, right? If they're very far, it's not gonna work. Like here, so you don't want it too far, and this is also where you're gonna start thinking about like production chains and things like this. I wonder if I put it here. No, let's put it there. That's fine. So it is. We have now a couple of people working in the farm here, right? Pretty, you know, it's not maybe the most beautiful you've ever seen, but it's pretty good. I think it's good enough to feel immersive. I like it. And by the way, this is how you can see over here, right? We say that we have 180 people, and there is 162 that are unemployed because 10 are working here, 8 are working there. Right? So that's the concept. With this, they're gonna start actually producing. You can see it is producing. It's gonna be 10 vegetable produce when this goes all the way there. Where can I see? I guess it's per hour in game or something like this. We have also notification there, by the way. We'll look at this in the future. Depots, they're talking about direct link, yes. So as long as they are very close to each other, they will transport directly instead of going through, you know, the depot. And yeah, with that, obviously we will need less depots. Okay, here it is. We have been able to produce 10 vegetables. That is huge. we are slowly developing. We require additional building materials to keep expanding, right? So plywood is the first one. You can see over here, this is the first production. We need some plywood. And speaking of which, you know, there is actually a way here to see for each production, how do you make it? So you see the plywood there, we can see it requires a lumber yard, and the lumber yard will require wood, and the wood comes from the forester. So this is pretty cool, you know, simple production chains, but works well. So that's why they tell us to first get a forester, right? I'm thinking we're gonna, either we can decide, you know, to use the same depot, or we can say, no, let's build pretty far and create something completely new. So for example, over here, I make a new production corner, and I'm thinking here there is a resource, so we may want to just put it next to it. So there it is. Now we're gonna do something like this. Okay, so this one is connected, but there is no depot nearby, right? So we're gonna build one, that's fine, right next door. Done. Now they're connected, perfect, and we're gonna want a lumber yard. So this is in the industries. You can see some buildings are already unlocked, some are not. Right? It says development level not reached. We're gonna need to do that, of course, in the future. So lumber yard, right, we're gonna want to produce. So let's go. As I said before, you may want to put it as close as possible so that it can deliver directly. For example, over here, you can see disconnected. As long as I have a road, they'll be able to go there directly. Okay. They are missing some resources, right? But as soon as here it is, our first truck is delivering some wood. You can see it, 16 wood being delivered to that one, and so these guys should get started in a sec. There it is. They're starting. It's going to cost a bit of money and some wood to produce the plywood, and of course a couple of people too. There are a few different productions in sometimes in the same building. For example, in the lumber yard, you can see you can produce both lumber and plywood. And some, it could be, for example, you know, in the same factory, you can produce pistol and you can produce rifle, right? It's a bit the same concept. So anyway, I think it's good to have one doing each, right? So now they're working, we're making plywood, and we're also making, you know, the actual wood. Okay, Governor, it's time to dust off a thinking cap. I think it's been a while since you attended school, true. But to build a complex production chain, we need to study. Bear with me as I'll show you where and how to find the proper information. So we have the menu over here. You can also access it by just pressing escape. So that's pretty good. And there you will find the research tab. There is multiple. And what is it? 8, 2, 4, yeah, 8. We have the living, right? We have agriculture, factoring, utilities, civics, transport, morale, and military. You can see that transport and living, we've already reached level 1. Agriculture, we're close to level 1. And what happens is when you do reach a new level, you unlock some new productions. For example, over here, we've unlocked the birch, we've unlocked the bush edge, we've unlocked the wooden fence, and the simple lawn. In the next level, when we reach level 2 for living, we will unlock the labor high-rise. Right? For agriculture, when we get to level 1 here, we will unlock a couple of things like the cotton field and others. So that is, you know, the concept. Now, what I haven't showed you is how do you get points, right? So I'll show you that in a second. People are asking for something to lift their spirits. They want a newspaper for entertainment. Okay. So I didn't actually show you, sorry, let's go back to it, is for the development thing over here, right, is if you build things that are related. If I build another farm, for example, this is how you're going to unlock those points and go there. It's not so much about time, it's really about what do you spend you know, your efforts on. And you can see here, for example, I have 60 points, right? This one I have 8, and we're gonna gain some, but yeah, it's key points around what are you building and who do you have in your city. Luxury, so I mean, if I look at my people over here, you can see that they are going to have different needs. They have basic needs, which are vegetables and bread. But they also have luxury needs here, clothes and newspaper. And last but not least, they have public services. So public service is going to be like your clinic or hospital. It's going to be your fire station, education, right? Those type of things. So this is, you know, your people, right? Based on what you give them, their morale is going to increase. And if their morale is high, they're going to give you taxes. And if they give you taxes, that means you can, cover your expenses and also buy things. There is also the concept of fire risk and riot risk, right? So similar to most city builders out there, but all of the good stuff, right? All of the good stuff is there. Those luxury goods, right, we're gonna want to produce to gain even more money, but to actually make this one, we're gonna need, to the newspaper, we're gonna need both electricity and water. So these are the two that you can see over here. We're gonna need to get some of these. So to get some of these, we see over here a power substation and a windmill. A windmill will produce electricity. A power substation basically will provide that electricity to the buildings that are nearby. So let's go. I think we're gonna put it, somewhere over here, because we already have stuff happening here. Oh, this tells us to make two. Sorry, my bad. And then let's make a power substation that shouldn't be too far, right? Not too far from the production, not too far from also where we want to deliver it. So over here, that feels good. Right, and now we can create a cellulose factory. Because if you look at the cellulose factory, you can see that the upkeep is not just money, not just 600 of money, it's also 10 of electricity. Good thing we're producing 50 at this point, right? So this one is going to use wood. So again, we probably want to put it close to the wood production over here, but also close to the electricity. So something like this is looking fine. We do need to check that, this is producing 16 of wood. This is already using 4. This is using 2, if I'm not mistaken. So, we need to keep that in mind, that, you're still producing enough. This is going to use 4. We will have, of course, ways to look at those production versus consumption, but I just wanted to show you that the numbers are also there. Then after the cellulose factory, which, is creating basically cellulose out of the wood, we're going to need a paper mill. So let's go, paper mill fits over there, perfect. So this is going to require the cellulose and electricity, and you want it in range of your depot. So it is. I think this is pretty efficient over here. I'm happy. It does need a bit of time for the whole thing to start, because we are in speed 1. We can move to speed 3 if we want. We can also, by the way, change the weather or the time of the day, especially if you want to take nice pictures, you may want to do this. But yeah, here it is, ladies and gents. I think just in oh no, sorry, I forgot the printing press. So once we have the paper, we need to make newspaper. Let's go, put it... It's not the perfect layout, but I think it will do. It will do. Okay. I'm thinking we're gonna go crazy there and go like this. It's this one that actually is a bit too big versus the others. But yeah, we've established the newspaper production now. The news section is limited, but the people are happy they can read something. Hope so. I spent so much effort. It's time for us to focus on bread production. Use what knowledge you gain and build the bread production facility. I've had enough of carrots. Indeed, I can imagine carrots are not enough. So like I said before, let's actually, especially, for these videos, I think it's easier if I show you the sun. So if we go into the sun, we can see over here we have the grain field, and we've also unlocked the cotton field. But in this case, we want the grain field, and we're probably going to put it over here. So let's see. Yes, that makes sense. We're gonna put a road there, and then we can see later on. Now we need the flour mill. So this flour mill doesn't need electricity, so that's fine. We can put it anywhere we want. I'm thinking, one more tile would have been good. Let's put it over here. I'm going to have one more road around. You don't need to, but I like, those grids. So it is. We have now the flour mill that's going, and by the way, we're reaching a lot of new levels thanks to building all of those things here. You can see now we are at agriculture level 2, living close to 2, transport, because I'm building tons of roads. So yeah, everything is slowly but surely growing over here. Great stuff. Then it will be the bakery, right? And I hope you saw that every single one of those buildings, they cost not only money, this one 600 to build, but also resources. This one, for example, 40 of plywood. So it's a good thing we started, of course, this tutorial with tons of resources. It also takes 30 laborers, right? We only have 17 left. So we may have to put some new houses soon, by the way. And if you see, the last one is 4 development points for certain types of development points, right? Which are, if I'm not mistaken, the agricultural one. Yes. So I know that building this one will give me 4 points for agriculture. So yeah, everything that I've been saying before, it's all there. We're gonna put that one there, yeah, that fits nicely. And yeah, you can see now we're negative, so we should have more people, right? So let's go for now. Oops, a diverse diet, yeah, it's important, sure thing. basic needs have been met, so that's better than nothing. You've already provided them with newspaper, but they require something else to be really happy. New clothes, right? This is what I showed you before. So we're gonna do the clothes in a second, right? Just to confirm, I have the newspaper here, the clothes. Now right now it says 100% because again, this is a tutorial, you start with some resource, but if you're not careful, you're gonna get into 0 soon. Okay, so as I said, we could put more house, and I'm gonna be very simple right now and just add them there. Okay. Obviously, when we have services later, we're gonna need to be careful, but for a start, it's fine. I think we can do like this. All good. And yeah, they told us now we need to do a new production, right, for the clothes. This will require water. So we're gonna need to produce this, and water doesn't come from anywhere, right? That makes sense. I mean, you can get it from the rain, but if you want to get it from the ground, we're gonna need a pump on top of a deposit. And then we're gonna need a tower. But first, yeah, let's see. So we have one here. You can see there is also some others, but they're a bit further, right? So let's take that one here. Fine. So we put the pump on top of it, right? It doesn't work here, it's red. Here it's green. Love it. So I just wanted to say, yeah, the terrain here. Maybe we just make it quick and dirty like this. Up and up. Okay, so now it's connected. And as you can see, we have water being produced. Now we're gonna want to use this water for this new production, and this is with the water tower, right? But this water tower, you don't have to put it here. What you have to put it is where you want to produce whatever we want to produce. Now, to make it simple for now, I'm gonna put it here, but again, you could put it somewhere else. Okay, so then we're gonna need the cotton. I'm hoping that it fits there. Yeah, it fits over here, for example, right? So the water can be delivered right away. And therefore, instead of having instead of having 300 produced, we have only 295 now being produced, right? So this should get started. And by the way, you can see now that my expenses are as high as my income. Not good. We're gonna need to fix that for sure, Okay, so the cotton field, oh, is missing a depot. My bad. Definitely want a depot somewhere over here, maybe. Because that way we can this around, and here this is perfect maybe for putting more electricity in the future, right? There's enough space for electricity there. Okay, then we're gonna want to do something with this cotton, right? So we're gonna produce some cloth, and this is one of those buildings where you can see there's multiple productions. You have the cloth out of cotton, you also have the silk cloth out of silk and dye in the future. Take some electricity, but we have that, so all good, and it's gonna take even more money, so we're gonna need to keep that in mind. I'm thinking I'll just put it over here, it's fine. Okay, so it's gonna get started, but it needs a sub power station for electricity. All right, so oops, here it is. And again, this is a pretty small building. Put it over here, and if we want, we can also increase our production of electricity because we are pretty close to the 0. So it is. Now it should get started. Like it just needs the actual, cotton to arrive. But yeah, it's producing 10, so it shouldn't be too long before we see a first truck coming somewhere. And then we can hopefully fix our income problem. Oh, I've paused the game. Sorry, my bad. That's why it wasn't working, but here it is. The truck is coming. And done. So we have now the weaver that's creating the cloth, not the clothes, the cloth. So now we need the final building, which is the clothier. A manufacturing building that will take, again, some electricity and all of this, give us some development points, but will create the actual clothes. I'm thinking maybe over here is fine. Just expand the road slightly. Okay. Again, just needs to wait a second for it to be delivered, but that should start creating some clothes. In a sec, here it is. Our people are happy with the new clothes you provided. It may not seem like much, but these simple luxuries mean the world to them. Good work, the governor. A word if I can. Everything is going according to plan. We should prepare for the future. We secure a stockpile of alcohol. We might attract new people to our town. Perhaps ones that are more skilled than our laborers. To get our hands on some alcohol, we need to contact the elusive smuggler who deals in various goods. I'm sure he can supply us with the alcohol. Plus, we could sell him some of our surplus plywood. Okay, so now we get into the trading mechanic. Right? We have in all games, you have trading. We're gonna want a market for this. Anything here that they want to say? I mean, basically, you'll be able to say what you want to buy, sell, nothing, you know, that I can't explain to you. So it is a market, right? Will enable trading with merchants and smugglers. They may come from very far, and it is a pretty big building. Oh, you do need electricity, story my bad, and it's actually 15. So let's put it over here on the outside of this substation, and then we can, you know, start here and decide what we want to do. We want to, for example, sell a bit of plywood. So right now I have 400 of plywood in stock. I'm producing 10 and not using any in you know, every minute. I'm just using some obviously to buy stuff. So one thing I can do is I can say, okay, if it is above 250, right, you can start selling. What it means is right now I have more than 250. So a merchant, when a merchant comes like this one, he should be buying some. So it is, he bought some, so now I have less, but here, you know, there's more, and I've probably got some money. What would happen also if I start spending a lot, right? Let's say I arrive to 400, the merchant will come and will sell me so that I get to 450. Now, if you want, you can stop the buying of the resource, right? Or you can stop the selling of the resource. But I really like that it's actually by default, it's like you say, I want a certain number, and the merchant will help you get there. So that's now what we're gonna do with the beer or help, right? We're gonna say, well, let's try to get 250. I don't remember if there was a way to increase by a lot, but if not, ladies or the developers, please work on this. So 50, right? And same, we're gonna say basically if I have 0, it's gonna buy 50. If I have 100, it's gonna sell 50. So it's gonna take a second for the merchant to come back and do this. Right? I think you can actually see the merchant on the map too, but there's a trader coming. He doesn't have 50 on the other hand, he actually only has 10. So he's gonna sell 10, not 50. But the next time another one comes, he can sell again, right? Good work, Governor. I hope you familiarize yourself with the market and trading works. Naturally, the trader will visit occasionally, but his stock will change with each visit. Bear in mind that the world is that, you know, there may be problems also. Sometimes, you know, if there's a war going on close by, maybe he's not gonna come. So keep that in mind. Okay, so quality alcohol is hard to come by. Okay. Now we move into chapter 2, the calm before the storm. With their first objective completed, the governor and his men enjoyed their newfound peace, a hidden oasis that brings life to this war-ridden land, just like in a fairy tale. But fairy tales are unfortunately fairy tales, sweet and short-lived. So we have indeed built, you know, the basics, right? We've built a bit of food, clothes, newspaper. So my first year of population, the laborers are okay-ish. They have a tank, but they are retreating. The tank is retreating, at least it seems. I guess because I'm too good. My defense is too good. But still, this is not good. I don't have a tank. So they're retreating on the other side of the river. There is a breach, and they destroy the breach themselves. Okay? Because they're scared of me, I guess. And it is, Governor, are you safe? Unharmed? Men, form ranks and escort the governor to safety. Find me someone who can tell me what happened. I want to know who was on watch today. It seems like you have a lot have forgotten the discipline. Men were supposed to have stopped the war. I know. Apologies, Governor. I lost my cool. I'm relieved to see you safe and unharmed. Unfortunately, our lookouts have been killed, which is why the enemy was able to get so close. If I had to guess, I'd say they're either allies of the former inhabitants or part of their main force. Whoever they are, we cannot let this go unpunished. Our men may have given up war, but this is different. We'll gladly fight to defend their home. Okay? So, Governor, I'm glad to inform you that due to recent events, all trade has been suspended. That's a problem. The smuggler state that he doesn't feel safe in our region. So we need to deal with this issue before he can come back, basically, right? I have collected data and placed the available maps on your table. My suggestion is that you consult them on our state of affairs so that we can plan our next step. So it is, ladies and gents, we have now, you know, our city is still there. I don't think they actually destroyed anything for real. Oh, they did. Look at this. That's pretty cool. They did destroy the tower there, and you can see it has been destroyed. Everything else is still there. The bridge is here, right, and it has been destroyed, so all good there. Now, with this, in the second part, we're going to be able to look at the world map, because in Kaiserpunk, the world is divided into 100 district regions, each with its natural resource. To access the world, you have to click on the world map icon over here, or by the way, you can also do this and then click on this one. But here it is. We can see, different regions close to me. This is mine, right? We start here. This is my, central city, and we have these neighbors here. So on the map, right, we can also move around, and this is the whole world. You can go pretty far, so don't worry about this. You can zoom in, zoom out, right? There's pretty much everything. But yeah, this is my city there. It is time to assemble the troop and deal with the threats. In order to properly defend ourselves and neutralize the threats, we need equipment. Good thing our men have kept some of their gears. We'll make sure they get extra ration for their foresight. The gear will suffice for limited combat operation. Okay. So basically, we're going to need to construct a base, military base, right, on this map here. And once we've done this, we'll have, an army, small one, in the future a bigger one. We'll have not just, infantry, we can have also tanks, we can have ships, we can have it all. So this is where the game really expands. But yeah, we're gonna have it all, as I said, the aviation, navy, ground units. A battalion is 8 units, and you can have many battalions. We're gonna have people, they're gonna have artillery, tanks, all those type of things. As I said, this is 20th century, right? So you're not gonna see alien spacecraft, but you should see pretty much everything that you know. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. We're gonna want to build a military base, right? This is over here, show military buildings. We have the factory here, we have the munition factory, and we have the military base. I think we're gonna put it a bit more towards the bottom there, right? We'll probably need to have electricity and all of this, but that's fine. Okay, so army needs marching orders. It's time to leave the city and proceed to the battlefield. Although they hoped they wouldn't be summoned to the front again, this time they're fighting for something else. So basically, we already have an army, so we're not gonna have to recreate everything from scratch, because as per kind of the story, my people have what they need. So if we go over here, we are going to be able to deploy an army. We already have 4 units there, so we're gonna say deploy them on the world map. So it is. I'm deploying them. It's gonna take them 1 day to basically be ready, right? So we're gonna give them 1 day. We can see it here. Now 19 hours, 18, slowly but surely. Again, these are the soldiers. They've been given to us. Similar, the food ration and the ammunition has been given to us. In reality, after the tutorial, we're gonna have to build all of this, right? We're gonna have to build it and maintain those productions. But this is to show you a bit the military aspect of this game. So I like that they are doing this. It helps me for the video. And done. So the army has been deployed. Now we can march, right? So let's go. We're being attacked, right? The region is under attack by these guys. So that's what's happening. They have 2 troops. You can see that their health is 60. My health is 120. They have 22 of power of infantry and 52 of power. So you can auto-resolve or battle. So yeah, let's go. Let's see it. What happens, right? So first turn, they're the one attacking. Here it is. They're coming from here. They're attacking. Now I'm gonna attack, right? So here it is. This is the first round. I won this one, right? We defended the region. So they lost some health. I also lost a bit of health, but they lost a lot of health. So that is great. That is great. And main thing is they weren't able to, basically destroy my city. They've made a grave mistake by underestimating us, thinking we'd be easy prey. After their first successful ambush, they grew bold, right? But we pushed them back. Unfortunately, we suffer some casualties. But however, because they are fighting for their home, men are applying in droves, allowing us to properly reinforce a weakened unit. So here, if I go over here, you can see these are my troops, right? And they lost a bit of people. They have 25 of health instead of 30, for example. So I can reinforce them as long as I have the right inputs, if you wish, which in the case of this militia is having some recruits, some actual people that want to join, and 8 handguns. It seems we have both, so let's do it. Same for here, right? Let's reinforce everywhere. We could also add more units, but for now we're just gonna follow whatever they tell us to do, right? Which is to reinforce. It's gonna take a bit of time. You can see 2 hours, right? Basically for the troops to come from my city to go to the battalion. And yeah, as soon as it's done, we can then move to the next piece. As I mentioned before though, I did want to remind you that yeah, we're gonna need to do a lot more on this map here if we want to have a strong army. So don't think this is as easy as what I just showed you. So it is, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this game definitely has a lot more to offer. I've just showed you the basics. We've only talked about one tier of population. There's 4 tiers of population. I've just showed you pretty basic production chains, but there's gonna be a lot more. We didn't really look into details at the army, but hopefully this is enough as a first look for you to know, are you interested in this game? And if you are, you should check on the channel because I am planning a lot of episodes on this one. You know, right away, of course, I'm going to continue with the tutorial, but then we're also going to restart on a new map, and I'll show you there that the game also has a lot to offer. Thank you for watching. Tell me in the comments below any questions, thoughts about this game, and I hope to see you next time.